This cigarette looks harmless with its neat paper wrapping, yet it conceals a $756 billion global industry built on 5,000 years of tobacco tradition. From seedling to smoke, a single cigarette travels 12,000 miles across 3 continents while changing hands 27 times. Today, we're revealing the hidden journey of tobacco from carefully cultivated fields to the precisely engineered cigarettes in your pack, and why manufacturers have spent decades perfecting the science of ideal smoke delivery. Welcome back to Who Creates What, where we dive into the intriguing stories behind the products you love and the creators who make them happen. Every day, over 1.3 billion people worldwide light up a cigarette. That's more than 5 trillion cigarettes consumed annually. But before that first puff, tobacco undergoes a remarkable transformation. From a humble plant growing in fields to a precisely engineered product designed for a consistent smoking experience. While health warnings rightfully dominate cigarette packaging today, the agricultural and manufacturing processes behind tobacco production represent centuries of tradition combined with cutting-edge technology. Our team has spent 3 months researching this process, gaining unique access to tobacco fields and manufacturing facilities to show you the complete journey that most people never see. Did you know that tobacco plants can grow over 6 feet tall and produce up to 100,000 seeds per plant? Yet only a tiny fraction of these will become the tobacco in your cigarette. The journey begins in places like North Carolina, Virginia, and Kentucky, America's tobacco belt, where farmers have cultivated this crop for generations. What's fascinating is how tobacco farming blends centuries-old knowledge with modern agricultural science. Farmers fill trays with sterilized soil in specially prepared nurseries where an automated seeding machine precisely distributes seeds. These tiny seedlings remain in greenhouse conditions for approximately 7 weeks before being strong enough to be transplanted to fields. The precision is remarkable. When transplanting seedlings, GPS-guided tractors place each plant precisely 18 inches apart in neatly aligned rows. Every day counts in tobacco farming. Too early, and frost might kill the plants. Too late, and summer heat could damage the leaves. What most people don't realize is that tobacco farming is incredibly labor-intensive. It requires careful monitoring of soil conditions, pest management, and precise timing. A single tobacco plant requires over 150 gallons of water during its growing season, making tobacco one of the most resource-intensive crops in agriculture. Would you believe that the entire tobacco harvest depends on a color change? Farmers watch for leaves to transform from vibrant green to a yellowish green, a window of opportunity that lasts just days. Modern tobacco harvesting combines traditional knowledge with technological efficiency. Unlike most crops harvested all at once, tobacco leaves mature from the bottom up. This requires multiple passes through the field to harvest leaves as they ripen, or a single harvest when most leaves reach optimal maturity. In some regions, specialized harvesting machines cut the entire stalk, while in others, workers still harvest by hand, selecting only the perfectly ripened leaves. This precision matters because unripe leaves produce harsh smoke, while overripe leaves burn poorly. I visited a tobacco farm in North Carolina during harvest season. I witnessed something remarkable, a 4th-generation tobacco farmer who could tell a leaf's readiness by touch and color. Too early or too late, he told me, and you've wasted an entire season's work. The harvesting timing directly affects the final cigarette's flavor profile and burning characteristics. Premium cigarette manufacturers can trace their tobacco to fields harvested on particular days, like winemakers track vineyard plots. Inside those iconic wooden tobacco barns, a chemical metamorphosis occurs, transforming harsh green leaves into the golden brown tobacco that cigarette manufacturers crave. Tobacco curing isn't just drying, it's a carefully controlled chemical transformation. Different tobacco varieties undergo different curing methods. For flue-cured tobacco used in most American cigarettes, farmers hang leaves in specialized barns where heat flows through flues or pipes. Temperature and humidity are precisely controlled, starting at 90 degrees Fahrenheit with 85% humidity and gradually increasing to 170 degrees Fahrenheit as humidity decreases. This process, lasting 5 to 7 days, fixes sugars in the leaf and creates a distinctive flavor. Air-cured tobacco, often used in cigar wrappers, hangs in well-ventilated barns for 4 to 8 weeks, while fire-cured varieties, used in pipe tobaccos, are exposed to smoldering hardwood fires for up to 10 days, absorbing smoky compounds. What's fascinating is that modern barns use computerized climate control systems that maintain perfect conditions. Yet many farmers still rely on traditional methods, opening and closing barn vents by hand based on how the leaves feel and smell. The curing process dramatically changes the leaf's chemical composition. Over 2,000 chemical compounds form or transform in just 1 week, creating the complex flavor profile cigarette manufacturers blend for their signature products. When tobacco leaves arrive at processing facilities, they contain up to 20% moisture and natural sugars, but leave as precisely engineered tobacco sheets designed for perfect burning rates. After curing, tobacco undergoes its first industrial transformation at primary processing facilities, massive factories where train carloads of tobacco arrive daily. First, leaves are sorted by grade, size, and quality using AI-powered optical sorters and human expertise. The sorted leaves enter conditioning chambers where steam reintroduces moisture, making them pliable for processing. Next comes threshing, where machines separate the valuable leaf lamina, the flat part of the leaf, from the stems. These items aren't wasted. They're processed separately as expanded tobacco, a cost-saving ingredient in many cigarettes. The most fascinating part is the creation of reconstituted tobacco. Lower-grade leaves, dust, and stems are ground into a slurry, mixed with binders, and rolled into thin sheets on massive stainless steel drums, creating tobacco paper cut and blending with higher-quality leaf. This primary processing creates a standardized raw material with controlled nicotine levels, burning characteristics, and flavor profiles. A single processing facility can handle up to 500 million pounds of tobacco annually, enough for 500 billion cigarettes. Did you know that tobacco destined for premium cigarettes ages for up to 3 years before manufacturing? This aging process is surprisingly similar to winemaking. Aging transforms tobacco chemically and flavorfully. Natural fermentation breaks down chlorophyll in temperature and humidity-controlled warehouses and creates new flavor compounds. Some manufacturers use accelerated aging techniques, using controlled heat and pressure to simulate years of aging in just weeks. Then comes blending, the closely guarded secret of cigarette manufacturers. Master blenders, with palates similar to perfumers or wine experts, combine up to 50 different tobacco varieties to create signature taste profiles. American blend cigarettes typically combine flue-cured Virginia tobacco for sweet notes, burley tobacco for body, and oriental varieties for aroma. What's particularly interesting is that manufacturers must maintain consistent flavor profiles despite seasonal variations in tobacco crops. To achieve this consistency, some companies maintain vast reserves of aged tobacco, enough to continue production for 2 years if all tobacco farming suddenly stops. This blending process is why Marlboros made in different countries taste slightly different. Each regional factory has its master blender, which interprets the brand's recipe according to locally available tobacco varieties. Modern cigarette manufacturing machines operate at mind-boggling speeds, producing up to 20,000 cigarettes per minute. That's faster than you can count to 10. Cigarette manufacturing represents the pinnacle of precision engineering. The process begins with the tobacco feeder, a machine that creates a continuous tobacco rod of perfectly consistent density. This rod feeds onto a ribbon of cigarette paper, moving at over 500 feet per minute. The paper is an engineering marvel. Tiny perforations and specialized chemicals precisely control the burning rate. As the paper wraps around the tobacco rod, a continuous glue line seals it. This endless cigarette rod is cut into individual lengths with laser precision. Filters, made from cellulose acetate, a form of plastic, are attached using tipping paper, the brown or white paper that connects the filter to tobacco. Modern filters contain activated carbon and other specialized materials that selectively remove specific compounds from smoke. Throughout this process, high-speed cameras inspect every cigarette, rejecting any imperfections in density, length, or filter attachment. The precision is astonishing. Cigarette weight is controlled to within 0.01 grams. The engineering behind cigarette manufacturing goes beyond mechanical precision. Every element, from paper porosity to tobacco cut width to filter composition, affects how the cigarette burns and delivers smoke. Manufacturers can predict precisely how many puffs a cigarette will provide and the chemical composition of each puff. A cigarette pack does more than hold cigarettes. It's designed to preserve freshness for up to 2 years while serving as a crucial marketing tool, despite increasingly strict regulations worldwide. Packaging begins with the familiar process of grouping cigarettes, usually 20, into packs. These packs are typically wrapped in polypropylene film, the clear outer wrapper that acts as a moisture barrier. Modern packaging lines perform multiple quality checks, weighing packs to verify cigarette counts, scanning barcodes, and using machine vision to inspect every pack for printing defects. These systems can detect even a tiny misalignment in printed health warnings. What's particularly interesting is how cigarette packaging has evolved in response to regulations. In countries with plain packaging laws, manufacturers have invested in tactile features, embossing, debossing, and unique paper textures to maintain brand identity when colors and logos are prohibited. The entire journey from tobacco seed to finished, packaged cigarette typically takes 18 to 24 months, one of the most prolonged production cycles of any consumer product. This extended timeline requires manufacturers to forecast demand years in advance and maintain extensive inventory. While we've explored the fascinating manufacturing journey of cigarettes, there's an equally interesting story about how tobacco farmers adapt to changing markets. Our next video will take you inside the world of tobacco alternatives, from e-cigarettes to heat-not-burn products, and show you how these new technologies are disrupting a centuries-old industry. If you enjoyed this deep dive into tobacco production, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming exploration of the future of nicotine delivery systems. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Who Creates What.